Okay, we're going to talk about the American Express Platinum card and why, more than likely, if you're the average consumer, the American Express Platinum card is not for you. More on that. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to watch all of the videos because they will help you level up. So let's go ahead and have this conversation. All right. So here's, I have quite a few business credit cards, and we'll be talking about that quite a bit next month. But essentially, if you are a regular person with a regular income, the American Express Platinum card is not the card for you. Essentially, I'm going to explain to you why. So that's the American Express Platinum. Okay. So let's say you're a regular person with regular income and you don't have a lot of spends. After you go ahead and get the American Express Platinum, then that huge fee starts to weigh on you. Now, at the moment, let me show you my setup because essentially one of the things that I do is I have a lot of spend. That's the key. If you don't have a lot of spend, you probably need to stay away from American Express because essentially, and I'm going to kind of give you some overview in this. This is my American Express setup. I have 3 American Express Platinums. I have 2 business Platinums and I have a personal Platinum. Also, this is something that's funny. Most of my spend happens here with the American Express Gold. Now, why do I have multiple Platinums and why do I have multiple Golds? I have multiple businesses. Once again, if you're a regular person, once you get past that initial sign-up bonus, the card gets very expensive because you're not using it. Now, I'm about to show you how many American Express points that I have. Right here, I'm going to show you what's on my dashboard. Now, I'm close to 1 million points, and I'll be using those quite a bit this summer, but I'm close to 1 million points with American Express points because I have spend. This is the thing. If you're going to use American Express business credit cards, you need to have legitimate spend. If you do not have legitimate spend, these cards can be extremely expensive up in your wallet. And I see all these videos. It's like, well, last year I got the American Express Platinum. Now I'm sitting here debating, do I pay this $700 fee? Now, here's another thing too. Also, because these, I have 1 personal, but these 2 business American Express Platinums. Guess what? I get to write off that annual fee on my taxes because that's a legitimate business expense. And these, I don't have an American Express Platinum. I don't have an American Express Gold personal because I have 2 American Express Golds. And let me go ahead and explain to you, at some point this year, I'm going to have a 3rd. Now, why is this? Because I run online advertising, and with American Express Gold, you get 4 points for each dollar spent on online advertising, up to $150 per card. So once I wear this one out, then I wear this one out, and I'm gonna move off into a 3rd card. And this is one of the things that you, once again, the whole thing is here at Hustlers Kung Fu, we talk to real business owners, people who have legitimate real business spend, because there's so many people who get into the credit card game, and the credit card game can be quite nice because if you go ahead and get a lot of credit cards, you know how to use them, you can get a lot of free travel. But one of the things that really gets people in trouble is they'll go out and get these cards because, like, seriously, like I said, most of my spend is on the gold cards. And I have, like I said, actually, yes, 3 American Express Platinums. I'll tell you a story on this card right here. And this is a lesson in how American Express works. You'll see people who will come here on YouTube and say, look, I got American Express Platinum. I have a $500,000 credit limit. That is 100% a lie. It's not false, it's a lie. This is how it works. Now, I bought this gold Rolex, right? It's $51,000. I bought that Rolex with that card. And what did I do? I actually paid that card off literally 4 or 5 days later. And then what happened is I got this card. This is a lesson in how I got these two cards, right? Both have a $50,000 pay over time limit. So that's $100,000 just on these two cards. Now, why did I get $100,000 on these two cards? Because I have just demonstrated to American Express that I can pay that. You're not going to get huge limits from American Express unless you can demonstrate that you can pay it. When I applied for my business credit cards, American Express wanted to look at my business checking accounts. See, there's a lot of, I want to say, misinformation online about American Express. American Express is a great credit card company. They've done a lot of things, but if you don't have the spend or you don't have a business, I will feel that American Express is not the credit card for you because of these fees. Because like literally, these three are $2,100, and this isn't all of my American Express cards. This is $500. So just to have this collection of credit cards, my annual fees are $2,600 just on those. And then I have another one. I think I'm paying about $3,000 a year in annual fees. So why would I pay that? Because here's the thing. Once again, when I show you how many American Express points I have, it starts to make sense. Because literally, I am sitting on maybe $40,000, $50,000 worth of American Express points, depending on how I use them. So me spending, $3,000 is nothing. $3,000 is nothing when I get $30,000 to $40,000 to $50,000 worth of American Express points. I'll give you an example. Also, this is another American Express credit card I have. This is my daily driver. This is the one I spend the most on. This is the Delta American Express Reserve, right? So also I have probably like 800,000 points. Now, this card has an annual fee of $550, right? So why would I spend that? Because whenever I go somewhere, Delta, this card gives me one companion pass that I can use up to a first class in the United States Continental of America. How much is a first class ticket? On the low side, it's $1,200, $1,300. On the high side, it can be $2,500. So just that one little thing right there makes that card worth carrying in my pocket. Also, because I have spend, I literally have, I should have my computer here, but at the moment, I am probably sitting on, I'm just going to estimate, I'm going to say 10 first class tickets. And we will go ahead and say average out the price at $2,000. So I'm sitting on $20,000 worth of first class travel, $20,000. So when you look at the 20,000 in miles and you look at 50,000 in points, so my 3,000 in annual fees, because I have spent, and we're going to talk about that, has put me in a position where I'm sitting on about $70,000 in travel benefits. Why? Because I have legitimate spend. See, if you're a person who doesn't have legitimate spend, I would say go ahead and get the American Express charge cards and, move all your spend to that. Because if you don't have spend, these cards don't make any sense. If I did not have legitimate spend, I would not have all these cards. And more than likely toward the end of the year, my spending is probably going to be $30,000, $40,000 a month on ad spending. $30,000, $40,000 a month, which times 4 is 120,000 points per month. So once again, you got to have legitimate spend. Once again, if you have legitimate spend, American Express is a great credit card company, and they will literally blow you out the water with all the things they will give. Because until I got this, I never had a card where I could spend $50,000 in one purchase. That was very new to me. And now, because I have spent and I have kept up my good payment graces, I believe, because I had a rep who used to contact me quite a bit, but my spending has slacked off. And this is one of the things, your spending is elastic. I would say my base level spend is probably 300,000. When I was spending heavily, it was at like 600,000, because your spending modulates to your use and pay history. So one of the things that you have to do to maintain a high spending limit is to use these cards quite a bit. And this is where, let me explain it to you. Like, okay, all of these cards are in the family, and these are the American Express charge cards, right? They're all in the family. So let's say I was spending $100,000 per month on this card, which has a $50,000 pay over time limit. And every month I paid American Express $100,000 using this card religiously. Guess what? That bumps up the credit limits of all these other cards because they're family, and this is how they work. So if you use it and you pay it off and you keep your cards in good graces where, because literally this card is used for ads. This card's used for food. This card isn't being used at all at the moment. This card isn't being used at all at the moment. And this card isn't being used at all at the moment. Why? Because I have a plan. When I use these cards, I must be in the position where the usage of these cards earns me a dividend where I can pay these cards back. If that's not the case, there's no point in using these cards. And this is where so many people get into trouble with this, because they go out and get these cards and they don't have use. Because once again, and I'm gonna say it, I know I sound like a broken record, but you must have the spend. If you don't have the spend, American Express isn't the credit card for you. It's just not. And this is where so many people get in trouble, because American Express is, I would say, an elite company, and they have many benefits, but only if you have the spend. And let's talk about that. Here at Hustlers Kung Fu, this is where we're going to get into the savage finance, and we're going to get into holding companies, business credit, and some other things. So if you're a person who wants to create a business that's going to create legitimate spend, you should subscribe. And we've got some training and stuff that we're going to get into next month that's literally going to blow your socks off. One of the reasons that I have all these credit cards is I have multiple companies. These are some other business credit cards. This is just some. I don't actually have all of them, but once again, this is something that I teach. When you set up a holding company, this creates a situation where you can get multiple business cards from the same credit card company. Because I know US Bank, I have four business credit cards with US Bank, and I have 3 personal credit cards with US Bank. So once again, once you start building these relationships, this opens up the door where you can get more things and do more. But let me just go ahead and say it from the top. If you don't have legitimate spend, American Express is not the credit card company for you. And like literally, I consistently see these YouTube videos like, hey, I got the American Express credit card last year, and now it's about time to come up on that spend. And you've exhausted your travel benefits because you don't have legitimate spend. And that's when this, like literally, this card, I've had this card because at one point I actually got rid of this card because I wasn't traveling and I wasn't spending. And I've been an American Express card holder since 2014. So I went ahead and got them back. Now, because I got them back, this opened up the door for me to have legitimate spend. Once again, you must have legitimate spend. If you're doing e-commerce or you're advertising and you're making money, that's legitimate spend. you can get a gang of travel points, you can do really, really well. But if you're not spending, this isn't the card for you. And that's not a bad thing, because there's literally a ton of credit cards out there that you can get that will put travel benefits in your back pocket and allow you to enjoy the world, stay at some of the best hotels, and really rock out on credit card arbitrage. Really can. But I'm just saying it from a standpoint as a legitimate business owner, that if you don't have a business, you're not making money, you don't have legitimate spend, the American Express Platinum is not the credit card for you. It's just not. It's just not. And also, I have another, wait a minute, actually, I do have that on me. Now, this is another American Express. I think the limits on that's like the annual fees like $250, I believe, I'm not sure. But why do I have this credit card and why do I have this credit card, right? Why do I have both of these credit cards? See, this credit card has a special feature. Whenever I have a charge that's above 5,000, they give me 1.5 points. And this card has a special feature. Once I get to 150,000, then I start making 1.5 points per spend. But once again, these cards are for people with legitimate spend. If you don't have the legitimate spend, these cards are not for you. All right, so once again, if you want to be a person that's going to develop a legitimate spend and actually be out here making moves, doing things, and setting yourself up, I got something below. I've got the Art of Holding, which teaches you how to build a company where you can actually go ahead and have legitimate business spend. And one of the things that you really want to do is set yourself up where you are put in a position where you have legitimate spend, so you can have all of these travel benefits and you can enjoy yourself and do really, really well. That link is below. And one of the things we're getting ready to start doing here is having some free training. And then let me explain to you how the free training will work. You show up for the free training, and then, if you show up, you get the training for free. But if you want the recorded sessions, you will have to buy. So that's something else that's coming up, something you can put in your back pocket. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Be sure to go to the end of the video, and there will be other videos you can watch. There'll be a playlist here, and there are other videos, and watch all of the videos. This is a new channel, so it's not going to take you a lot of time to watch all the videos so you can stay up to date.